Welcome to the Empowered Spirit Show. This is your host, Terry Ann Hyman. I'll explore the connection to the human spirit in a way that helps to navigate your life, including crisis. I am passionate about helping you to open up to your intuition and the metaphysical world of spirit to find your confidence in your own inner guidance. Take a pause, be inspired, learn ways to show up focused, centered, and more dynamic in your everyday life.
Welcome back to the Empowered Spirit Show. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me today. I am so glad you're here. Just take a deep breath, lots of energy moving around us all over the place. A little intense, right? That full moon, it certainly was. It brought in this huge bright light that shines on those shadows and those dark places, things that we really want to avoid. And so we have to take a moment to allow it all to integrate because it can be hard to sit with. It illuminates those parts that we want to stuff down, parts of the heart and the psyche, even things within our energy field. We kind of stick stuff out there, not ready to quite process it. I know for me, it's been very intense. That was the second full moon I've experienced out here in San Diego. Getting myself used to being out here. Everything is still very new, yet I am setting up new possibilities for myself, new patterns, new habits. And so with that big light coming in, it is showing me part of what I was holding on to, my own home, my house, my yard, my medicine wheel. So there was a little bit of old grief coming up. Maybe you're feeling it too, the old fear, the old stories, the old disappointments. Really, all those things that we've learned how to protect ourselves with. So this light, it is a gift. The gift of the moon helps us to shine, helps us to release. It helps us to shed the old energy. Yes, our emotional body does get big, at least mine does, but then we start to release where we are right now in the release phase so that we can process it all and let go of what isn't important to hold on to. So that brightness, yeah. Sometimes we pretend everything's fine. It shows us differently, right? But the more we're willing to look within, then the brightness will shine in a different way, allowing you to be really more of who you are and where you're going. We're coming to the end of spring. And so we've been planting a lot of seeds. And as we're getting here, we're weeding, we're pulling out. And then summer will allow us to grow. That new, that rawness, that part of us, just like that old tender little seed that's opening up, we're that way too. Every spring we plant new seeds, and now the summer is when we get to open up and grow and mature and have fun. I always talk about the wild woman of summer coming forward at this time because we are allowing ourselves to grow, have some of that fire and passion that comes forward at this time of year. So what intentions have you set in the spring? What have you been quietly placing into the soil of your life? What new practices, new boundaries, new dreams, new ways of being, and new energetic agreements? What have you been nurturing? Maybe it's a relationship with your body. Maybe it's more peace, more ease, more joy. Maybe it's a new business, a new offering, a new rhythm, a new home. All of it can help us find a new way of being as we move and transition through the seasons. One of the reasons I love seasons so much, so it allows us to work with the transitions of the season. And that's where that deeper spiritual work comes in, because growth isn't just physically planting the seed. It's also about going into your soul and noticing where your soul is guiding you to that person that is the authentic part of who you truly are. And if you need help connecting to your spirit or want to know more about a spiritual awakening you're going through, schedule a spiritual upgrade breakthrough call with me, and let's talk about what it is that can help you move through the intensity we're going through and open up to a deeper part of who you are. I have lots of tools and programs and mentoring I can offer. No need to do this alone. I'll be sure to put the link for the call in the show notes. The message that I want to bring forward today is about being in a new room and how a new room, new space, new opportunity has different rules. The room is just really the metaphor for wherever you might find that within you. It's such an important teaching for the path ahead. And I've been writing about this coming out of my pause and coming into this new place that I'm in. And we can equate it to entering a new season, just like we were talking about with summer. Many times when we think, oh, I'm going to get there. I know I did a little bit of this. I'm going to get there. Everything's going to be great. I know I'm going to live. I'm going to love it. And then, we find ourselves there. The opportunity's here. Things are changing. Everything is shifting. It's not that easy. It really isn't. Very often, we find ourselves, oh no, what happened? Here I am. Take me home. I admit I've said that once or twice. Why did I do all this? So we have to be able to live in that new room in a whole different way. The body will hesitate. The outer circumstances may have changed, but that inner pattern, it's still learning a brand new language. I definitely have been experiencing this. And so I've been allowing myself to find some grace, as I talked about in the writings I've been doing over on Substack, to really have a tenderness within me before I jump right into offering advice or organizing or helping or doing and overextending myself. A little grace, moving through, so that I can recognize my new self and not let that old self take over. Because even though we might be like in a new place, in a safe environment, there can be a little bit of expectation or disappointment from a past history of trying something new. Oh, I'm not going to try it. I already did it. Didn't work. But yet you're in a new place. You may have that support you need in this new space, but you still may find yourself trying too hard, people pleasing, or waiting for permission. Yet we don't need to. Even finding a little bit of calm. I know for me, it's like calm. Can I work in this calm fashion? Or am I going to get that adrenaline going like I always do? So every old environment, every old relationship, every old responsibility taught the body certain rules, right? And some of those rules may have sounded like rest must be earned. First, I got to work really hard. Or even like peace doesn't exist, that peace and calm. No, I've got to work with all that adrenaline, right? Many of us work that way. Or I have to be useful before I can be loved, and I can't ask too much. Or I have to stay ahead of everybody else's needs before my own. Or I have to brace before something else goes wrong and the other shoe drops. But those rules, which may have protected you at one time, they don't really apply now. Yes, they may have helped you survive in the past, and they may have helped you to function and stay connected and stay safe, or even keep you going. But now this new room will not reward the old survival strategy. That's what I'm learning. Everything has changed. Everything's different. I can't keep going back to the same pattern. No, it's those new patterns, new habits, new ways of being that can help you let go of the old survival strategies, reward you with the newness. So again, let's just say that the new room will not reward the old survival strategies. We could try, but then what happens if we go back to old patterns? It's not a new room anymore. And so yes, it can feel a little disorienting. I know I'm like ready to do the same thing. Nope, pull back, take a breath. So that part of you that's learned to scan, embrace, and overgive, and explain, improve, and prepare you may not know what to do when life becomes quieter. Peace may feel suspicious at first. Ease can feel unfamiliar. Support may even feel like a setup. Maybe you feel a little paranoid, right? Everybody's being so nice, right? Spaciousness, yeah, that can feel like emptiness. I'm feeling a little bit of that. And so this is why peace sometimes has to be practice. It's not always something the nervous system receives immediately. Sometimes it's something we have to learn how to tolerate. Sometimes it's something we have to teach the body slowly. That's exactly where I am right now. Just stay patient, be quiet, show up in my heart, one step at a time. So even if we have those old patterns coming back, we just take a breath. It's not a failure. It's okay. We just want to take a pause long enough to show up in this new place, building new rules, so to speak. So as we come to the end of spring and as the full moon has helped to reveal what is being released, I invite you to notice for yourself right now the old rules you may still be carrying because you don't want to carry them into the new season. So maybe you're moving from panic when your soul is asking you to move from trust? Are you still confusing overgiving with service? Are you still treating exhaustion and always being busy as devotion? That's a big one for many healers. Are you still waiting for permission to live the life that is already calling you forward? Are you still letting the old room write the instructions for your new life? So these new energetic, let's add that word in, energetic rules do not have to be dramatic. They just need to be honest. They need to be livable. They need to be repeated often enough that the body begins to believe them. That's the neuroscience. So maybe a new rule for you could sound like, I no longer move from panic. I don't have to react. I can take a breath. Or maybe it's not confusing overgiving with service. Maybe you can allow your body to be a part of every decision. Is this good for me or not? Does my body go strong? And can you honor rest as preparation? This will help you to allow your work to grow from alignment rather than fear. This is shape-shifting. This is how we begin to embody the life the soul already knows is possible. Not through one grand declaration, but through the moment-by-moment choice to stop negotiating with the past. The new room is not asking you to survive. It's asking you to inhabit it. So there are many tools that we can use to help us rewire the brain for this new room, this new transition, this new relationship, whatever that may be for you. The one I like the most for rewiring the brain, as many of you know, is emotional freedom technique. It helps to work on the amygdala of the brain, calm us down, come back into that body, and helps us to let go of all that old history that tends to fuel our path, right? So we can let go and show up in a more present form. So what I'd like to do now is take a deep breath and offer you this as our meditation today, a tapping meditation. If you're not familiar with tapping, go get my book, Confessions of a Shower Tapper, the ultimate guide to living your purpose with EFT. You can find it on Amazon, and it will take you through the points, give you the background and the history. And hint, I am working on another book, Shape Shifting. Yes, I'm so excited about that. So this is part of what this book will be about, how we can work with the idea of stepping into a new phase, calming the body down, working with our own ability to find that peace and ease as we show up in a new light, in a new way. So let's begin. I'm going to guide you through the points, guide you through the breath, and just notice what comes up for you. All right, so go ahead and take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the floor, let your shoulders soften, and just go ahead and place one hand on your heart and the other hand on the lower belly. Just feeling that alignment coming in. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, dropping right into the heart. Right into that deepest part of your heart. Just feel that connection, your spirit and the greatest spirit. Know that you are loved, guided, and protected. Feeling all this energy coming in around us, creating this sacred space for this work today. Take another deep inhale. And exhale. Right into the heart, right into that deepest part where you connect with Source, with God, with you. And ask yourself, what old rule am I still obeying even though I'm in a new season? And just let the answer come. No judgment. Notice what comes up for you. Now, as you bring forward this old rule, notice for you on that level of distress, 1 to 10, just give it a number to know where we've moved energy. How willing are you to let it go? Or maybe it's how much stress is it causing you? Whatever that may be for you. All right? And then when we begin tapping, we're going to begin on the karate chop. I'm going to move you point to point is what we call it. And just repeat after me, either out loud, wherever you are. And just notice what you notice. Sometimes your own words will come up, and that's fine too. For now, I'll guide you through. All right, here we go to begin right here at the karate chop point. Repeat after me. Even though part of me is still obeying this old rule, I honor the part of me that learned to survive this way and I am open to teaching my body something new. Even though part of me is still obeying this old rule, I choose to love and accept myself no matter what. Even though part of me is still carrying the energy of the old room, I honor how this protected me, and I love and accept myself where I am. Now we're going to move point to point. So right here at the eyebrow, repeat after me. Even though the new room feels unfamiliar, side of the eye, and part of me may not know how to trust it, underneath the eye, I give myself permission, underneath the nose, to learn slowly. Chin, gently. Collarbone, honestly. Underneath the armpit. This part of me that still scans for what could go wrong. Top of the head, it's just a survival pattern. Eyebrows, this fear of trusting. Side of the eye is an old habit of moving from panic. Underneath the eye, this part of me that learned peace may not last. Underneath the nose is just an old rule. On the chin, I honor how hard it worked to protect me. Collarbone, this old room trained my nervous system. Underneath the armpit, it taught me what I had to become. Top of the head, it taught me to brace, prove, prepare. Eyebrow, it taught me to overgive and stay ahead of everybody else's needs. Side of the eye, except my own. Underneath the eyes, it taught me that rest had to be earned. Underneath the nose, it taught me that peace could not be trusted. On the chin, but I am not in the same room anymore. At the collarbone, and I'm open to learning new rules now. Underneath the armpits, I don't know if I can do it. Top of the head, yes I can. At the eyebrows, I can let these old rules go. Side of the eye, step by step. Underneath the eyes, one at a time. Underneath the nose, I can let this go. Release the fear. Fear is only false evidence appearing real. Underneath the armpits, and I'm willing to take it one step at a time. Let's return to the karate chop point. Choose to love and accept myself no matter what. Take a deep breath. Just stretch up. Exhale back down. And just take a moment and notice. Notice how you feel. Feel a little buzzing, a little calmer, a little more centered. So you can continue tapping round and round and round to get rid of all of that distress and lower that level to where you do feel really good, or at least really calm. Because now what we want to do is we want to invite in that new energetic agreement. We want to invite those feelings in, affirm it deep within our soul. So notice where that level is for you. We're going to take another deep inhale and exhale. We're going to return to the karate chop point, repeating after me. So even though I know I've moved a little energy, there's probably more, but I choose to love and accept myself no matter what. So I recognize it's time for a new energetic agreement. I'm ready to adapt one and love myself no matter what. I recognize I'm moving energy little by little, and I choose to accept where I am. Eyebrows, I can pause before I respond. Side of the eye, I can speak up for myself without fear. Underneath the eyebrow, I can listen to my own inner guidance underneath the nose and show up for me. On the chin, and let everything else move away. On the collarbone. I don't have to confuse overgiving with service. Underneath the armpits, I can honor rest as preparation. Top of the head, I can allow this new room to be full of space. The eyebrow, and not freak out. Side of the eye, I can build new rooms. I can build new rules. Underneath the eye for my new room. Underneath the nose, this new transition I'm in. One that is more allowing and loving. On the collarbone, and full of peace, ease, calm. I don't have to earn it. Underneath the armpits. Top of the head, I can just be. The eyebrows, I can allow the rules. Side of the eye, of my new life. Underneath the eyes, to be written by my soul. Underneath the nose, not by my survival. On the chin, written by my soul. Collarbone, I can show up in a new room with peace and ease. Let's continue for one more round. Keep going underneath the armpits. Peace is allowed. Top of the head. Peace is allowed to feel unfamiliar. That's okay. At the eyebrow, I can learn new ways of showing up. Side of the eye, I don't have to recreate the old room. Underneath the eye, and I don't have to earn my place here. Underneath the nose, I already belong. On the chin, I can receive support without looking for the hidden cost. At the collarbone, I can let growth take hold. Underneath the armpit, I can trust my inner guidance. Come back to the karate chop point. I choose to love and accept myself no matter what. Take a deep breath, stretch up. Notice how you feel. Did that level come down? Do you feel calmer? You know, Gary Craig used to teach this personal peace procedure. I kind of learned that from him. And it's like tapping on peace. We take it for granted. It's not some grandiose idea. Peace is calm. It's ease. And in a world that's really intense and going crazy, finding that within ourselves is one of the greatest ways we can show up in a new room with our soul guiding us. We can trust our intuition, trust how we want to present ourselves, not the old way, but with a new heart guiding us. New rules, new heart, new room. Take another deep breath. I love tapping. And maybe if you're new, get my book or reach out for a session. I can guide you through your own tapping scripts. So powerful. So now, as you walk into a new room, new relationship, new job, whatever that may be for you, notice how you do take that first step in. And maybe you'll have to tap a little bit, tap in the shower right as you start your day. It really will help you to be calm and centered for this new transition in your life. And so as we go to close, notice what you notice. Notice the light of the moon as we move through this last cycle of spring. Notice how you are ready to show up with a new part of you for the summer. Shed the old. Don't be afraid of a brighter light. Honor the seeds that have not yet broken through the soil. Honor the quiet growth. Soon that growth will take hold. Inch by inch, little by little, the wild woman of summer is coming. Remember this. The new room does not require you to master its rules overnight. It only asks that you stop letting the old room be the authority. And each time you notice the old strategy rising, it will pause, breathe, tap, and listen. A new rule may be ready to write itself through you. Thank you so much for joining me on the Empowered Spirit Show. May you trust the new room as you step more fully onto the path ahead. I am your host, Terry Ann Hyman, to your spirit. Namaste.